What is up? Langlandia for the 13 months, as well as I am Karcha for 13 months. Thank you, Lang. What is up, dude? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Guys, check this out. It's a better view this time, because it'll focus. Come on. Boom. It's the holiday season. I love that it doesn't translate it. The heart? Oh, I don't know. How we doing, people? My hair's kind of a hot mess right now, but, you know, it always is. How we doing, everybody? We got Kinnick in chat, Tommy Hong, Joey H, Crafted Cables, hello, Called Stad, Mael KK, Abracadaniel, who's like right there. How we doing, everybody? We got a cool build. I'm excited. I haven't built the V2. I built a proto, and then I built my own. I used to have one of these. Curtis Rainbow, what's up? Keeb Noob, hello. So I'm excited to build a V2. Lang just built one a few weeks ago. So happy Saturday. Absolutely. So this is for a local friend. So excited to get, I've actually built this person a board before. What's up, Mex? Ruben92PT. What's up? We're going to build a cool board. Probably going to get down to it pretty quick because, you know, it's got like twice as many stabs as I typically do. So Hellbent TV, it is, who's just said hello in the chat. This is his board. I previously built him a Tofu 65. So I'm glad that I'm getting a chance to build a board that I actually like typing on. That's a joke. The other one was fine. It's just, you know, 65s. There are no less than 73 stabs on this board. That's accurate. That's like actual accurate. Please lean right. You want to see? Yeah, I mean, come on. It's glorious. All right, let's go through them all. And these aren't even like the fun ones, right? These are the ones that I've had forever. So these two. Oh, plant. Oh, you want to see the plants. I'm sitting here all selfish, like you want to see my my sweet ass Nutcracker collection, but nah, you just want to see the plants. Janelle's just here for the plants. All right, so let's get down to it. Okay, so I mean, I could talk about them too. We'll talk about them later, right? This is the Austin. I'm gonna get rid of this because space. This is the Austin V2. I haven't even opened it. We're gonna be putting some T1 stabs. I appreciate we got everything like nice and neat in bags. I like when everything's separated, not just thrown into a bag. So, unboxing experience. The real unboxing experience. I've never unboxed the V2. This box is a little nicer than the V1. Delphin, what's up, man? Alright, so we got our PCB. I don't know how... I don't think there was any huge change other than in the PCB. So, for those who remembered, we can tighten in on here. It says Austin PCB Release Alpha, designed by Gondolindrium in partnership with Drifting Bunnies and Phoenix Star. Man, this burger, it tastes like sorbethane. Nice little add-on. So this PCB, I believe, is just the exact same as the other one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we'll need that here in a little bit. It is a crucial element to the build, and we reveal a cloth. Always nice to see a cloth. Looks like some extra screws as well, so can't go wrong there. I like the custom drift mechanics. Drifting Bunnies, good friend. Subpar board maker. I'm kidding. Ugh. Get this heavy guy out. Jesus. I figured you'd hear that regardless of where you were. No, he's a good friend. So this is the Austin V2 in white brass plate. I think this thing registers at like 8 pounds, so 7 pounds, 7.5 pounds. So it's kind of like a Mao. It's like this close to Mao white as you can get. So very excited to be building this, but as is tradition, we're going to pop the bump-ons first. I want to say the bump-ons are the one of the big changes was the bump-ons are new, because I believe these are the strips instead of the actual like round bump-ons. So get this popped open. Get these on. I like the strips. It looks very put them on the tofu before you brought it. Yeah, I mean, I it's the first thing I do because it just the last thing I would want to do. Brand new boards scuff the bottom, and I mean, boards are gonna get scuffed. They're gonna get damaged. It's a part of owning a keyboard, right? I mean, hell, look at this thing. I don't even know what this is, but you know, boards are meant to be used, right? Got like nicks right here. Like this specifically was when I dropped a D20 on it. Boards are meant to be on the desk. They're tools. While they can be art pieces, in my opinion, boards are meant to live on a desk, not in a showcase. If you have a lot, I mean, I'm sitting here with like a little showcase, but you know, use your boards, right? There are definitely some that I use more than others, but I don't mind when some boards show a little love. So there we go. We're gonna unscrew this thing. I will say with 100% honesty, I hate unscrewing specifically the Austin because of bad memories. my PCB had, this was the first run of them. My PCB was like it was a weird like one-time deal where mine was just goofy and I had a hard time flashing it. And I think I unscrewed this case like 30 times. So I'm very familiar with unscrewing in Austin. But how are we doing? How's everyone's Saturday? We are almost at the halfway point of December. 2021 looming over the horizon. Well, I'm not expecting much from 2021. It'd be hard to be worse, but you know, working, but it's quiet, so I got the stream open. Hell yeah. A little hungover, not gonna lie. There you go. Hey, party it up. Party it up. I want the Austin. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid board. Literally, the only reason I got rid of mine is I just was not using it as much as I could, and now I've been missing it a lot. Do I regret it? No, not really. I know the Austin will run again. I know if I want to get another one, I will have another opportunity. But at that time, I was like, there are a couple other things that I want more than a full size. But as full size go, it is my favorite full size. It's one of the few that I've actually used, but I love the 2U 0 key. It's hard to beat the 2U 0 key. Doing good audio only right now, Delphin? Alright. No worries, we're just unscrewing. Just unscrewing a plate at the moment. But no, you know, I have a hard time owning keyboards that I don't typically am not reaching for multiple times over and over. With the, you know, the Baka and the Key Colt get a lot of love on the desk because it is my favorite layout. 60%, specifically 60% wind keyless, but Key Colts do not make wind keyless 60s. If they did, I would be extremely happy. But and then I have the Singa, which I really like. That I think maybe I doomed myself because I put the same switches with a different lube in the Singa, and I like those switches more with 3204 than 3203. So maybe the Singa just, it had me going, well, I've got this one. They're very similar. So, and I had an opportunity to sell the board, and the person that got it was extremely happy that they got it. And I was happy. You know, it's sometimes you use a board for a while, you appreciate it, you love it, and then you move on, right? There are a lot of keyboards in this hobby. Unicorn, this is a Austin V2. Unless that was a different question, then I am unsure. So, we've got the plate, pretty standard brass plate. There's nothing that screams this is the greatest plate of all time. Unicorn was what you saw. I sold my Austin. But sandblasted brass plate, pretty standard. You know, some people like the PVD coated plate. I don't really care. I think this is perfect, right? This is exactly what you need. It gets the job done. So, set that aside for now. And we're going to be using, I believe these are the Everglide stabs. I'm going to put that away for now. So like I said, we got T1s. I don't know if these are the OG. They kind of look like the OG. They are not the OG, but T1s, which is actually interesting because the first time that I built an Austin was with T1s. So let's see. It's the greatest plate of all time because it doesn't make your fingers bleed when you put in your switches. You're not wrong. So T1's Luba 3203, lubed by Mr. Hellbent. Joey H. Cables, Crafty Cables, thank you for the 4 months. So we'll be using these today. And we have got, all the separation, all the different bags. I like it. It's like put together your own kit. Keyboard, are you wanting to know more about this keyboard? If so, RP Morrison, let me know. And I will tell you all about that keyboard. Yes, so this is the Baka 60. This is a keyboard that I myself co-designed with Blind Assassin. Its main design feature, or what makes it different than the other rectangles, is this little curved inlet on the sides, big heavy weight. I have revisited the design, nicknamed it the Squid 60, and if you are wanting one, if you're wanting one, extras should be soon. I posted an update. Looks like things will be moving along soon. I was informed that we'll deal with this later. Deal with those. I was informed that they all but about 5 boards were done anodizing. They had to redo the ano on 5 of them. So I'm just waiting to hear back. They started packing up the order. So that's good news because, I imagine the other, I forgot exactly how many I ordered, but the rest of the boards, they can get at least started on packing up. So, Lee Turk, the update's in the Discord. My guess is that they'll ship in the next week or so. If for whatever reason shipping is ridiculously expensive because of holidays, I'm going to ask them to wait to ship it until after the holidays. Which would be like what? I mean, realistically, it might be another week and a half, but I would rather not spend a godly amount of money because I'm not trying. They're not going to get out before Christmas Day. For those who celebrate Christmas, they're not going to get out. I don't think they would even get out before New Year's. There's a possibility, but it's slim that they get out before New Year's. If they manage to ship. So my goal right now is to have them at least all of the United States orders done by January. That's pending they ship at a reasonable time. So, because when I did the Baka, the shipping boxes sat in a warehouse for like 2 weeks just getting scanned every day. So that could also happen. I mean, shipping's just a total toss-up. You just kind of have to wait because, they're big boxes. So I just need to make sure I have my stabs counted out correctly because we are looking up the board, we have a left shift, a space bar, or enter, and a backspace. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not have enough. Seven, because this board uses literally more than twice as many as most boards that I do. So let's get started because this is going to take a minute. I'm getting toasty already. I put the hoodie on for comfort and then quickly it's like boom. Sweat. Just anyway, yay. I'm running out of 205 grade 2. I'm going to have to order some soon. Anyway, we got some awesome. What profile Mizu said is this? This is GMK, so cherry. Yes, sponsors. We have some awesome sponsors: SwitchMod.net, CanonKeys.com, Dixie Mech, as well as Project Keyboards. All do some awesome stuff. So go check them out. I will hit let's type this out one-handed painstakingly. And I definitely hit Z right before that. And I typed in twice, so there we go. Sponsors, so check out those websites. If you want to help the channel, bookmark those websites. Every little bit helps us continue to run this channel. Steelwind, thank you. Yay, 3 months to a soothing build stream. Hell yeah, dude. We're just vibing today, man. We are just vibing today. Gotta vibe because you don't want to stress yourself out doing 7 sets of stabs. But how was everyone's week? How are you doing today? I'm good, man. Today it's actually a little strange. Today's been abnormal. So we went to bed at like 2. Vibing playing Cyberpunk 2077. Heck yeah. I will not be picking it up until I am done with Valhalla. And I have been busy, so Valhalla has had to take a back seat. But no, so today, last night we went to bed around 2. And I had not been getting great sleep the last 2 nights, so Wednesday night into Thursday and Thursday night into Friday. I think I got a total of 9 hours of sleep across those 2 nights. Just I have little bursts of insomnia, and it kind of drives me crazy. And that started beginning of this week with some mild vertigo that led to some me not being able to sleep for most of the night. So I got home, and on Friday it was like 5, and I'm like, I'm gonna go take a nap. And then I laid down. I was on my phone for a second, and then I put my phone down. This one just has a little too much lube, so if you have too much lube, you just spread it on something else. And boom, there she goes. So I wound up sleeping from like 5 p.m. until like 7:45 at night. And my wife comes in, she's like, hey, are you alive? Because like it's 7:45 and I'm hungry, and like we haven't even figured out dinner yet. I'm just like chilling with a buddy in Discord, but like, do you want to wake up? And I was like, oh shit, all right. And hung out with friends until like, this is online by the way. Hung out with friends until like 1 o'clock, 1:30. Didn't get to sleep till about 2. And then we both woke up at like 7:45 for whatever reason. And we had some stuff. We're a part of a Secret Santa, so we were like, oh, we need to go get some Secret Santa stuff and then ship this stuff out. Steelwind, I'll get to the Valhalla question in a minute. Insomnia felt me during the summer, yeah. What's the little artisan? Oh, we'll talk about RP Morrison. We'll talk about this little guy in a second also. But so we were like, well, let's go. Let's go get some coffee, and then we'll go get some stuff for Secret Santa. So we go do that, and we get all our stuff done, and we get home at like 10:30, 10:45, and then, we get back, pack up all the stuff. I went and dropped it off, and then I got back at like 11:15 after hanging out, and I was like, I'm kind of tired. Wouldn't mind a nap, honestly. Woke up from the nap at like 12:30, 12:45. I was like, sweet, it's 12:45. We've been productive, at least externally. Our apartment is messier than I'd wish, but I have no one but myself to blame for that one. And we were like, all right, well, let's just, we'll just chill, then stream, and then afterwards probably chill. Probably not clean, because we'll say we'll clean and then we won't. I'll say we won't clean and then I won't. So, let's see. What's the little artisan? Let me lube this thing and then we'll go over it, and then I will talk about AC Valhalla. Whew, almost dropped that. That would have been no bueno. Okay, so Hellbent TV. We live close. I met like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes from each of our places. So he sends me. He pops in and he's like, do you want like payment for the build? And I was like, no, man, I just, I appreciate that we get to build it. Like, I told him straight up, I was like, I'm not lubing these switches. Like, you're gonna have to do that. Like, I'll help you out with like providing the lube for the build, but I'm not gonna lube these switches. That's just too many. Brez, thank you for the 16 months sub. So instead of paying me for it, he was just like, hey, I've got this for you. So this is here. Let's put it right here, right in the center. So this is a little artisan. It's a little shaky right now. It's having a hard time focusing. There we go. So this is an artisan that he made. I don't know what it's called. I honestly don't really know what it's supposed to be. It looks like a dude that's been punched in both of his eyes and his tongue is out. I love the texture on top. Is this the nicest art? He said this is one of the first artisans I'm making. I'm going to start selling them. And I said, oh, sweet. In my full critique, I really like the ridges on the top. I think that the texture, let's see if I can get it to focus on me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Perfect stream. Come on. Perfect stream. Let's go. Let's focus on my hands. Let's show some effort, camera. Anyway, so I love the colors. I love the texture on the top. He did say, like I said, this is probably the first or one of his first. The first he was happy with giving out. Is it 100% perfect? I don't think so. But most people, if you go back to some of the first sculpts from many of the artisan makers right now, they're not going to be perfect. Camera is very stubborn today. But all in all, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is way better. I really like to see if you can see the texture right there. I think that's probably the best part, in my opinion. I love the colors, but that's just a really cool way of like, if this was just smooth, like down here all over, it would just be kind of like, but this just adds a lot of, extra-ness to it. Try to get the mechs on deck green. There you go. I like it. So I believe he's going to start selling these soon. They're very, very cool. Like I said, it's not, is it perfect? No, it's way better than anything I could fucking do. I'm comparing it to people who have been doing it for 2-3 years. And that's an unfair assessment. Is it a great and cool little artisan? Raffle goes live today. What's the artisan's name? I have no idea. I have no idea. He handed me in a little bag after I took a box from him, and I was like, if I get stopped by a cop, they're like, what's in the little bag? I'm like, it would be harder for me to explain what this is than anything else. Do you have your IG? Yeah, Hellbent, go ahead and post your IG. And be prepared for Keeb Noob to win every single one of yours. So, anyways, that artisan, yeah, like I said, the raffle's going live today. Thank you. Again, I did not pay for the artisan, so full disclosure there. I guess payment can be what you're seeing right now, which is building him the board. Most of the time, I appreciate, if I charged for a build $30-40, like, that's great and all. That might buy me a couple meals, but I usually will like maybe a snack from a location that is hard to get to, or maybe an artisan's always great. Things that things that I'm like, maybe I couldn't get, or maybe, something that's to me more valuable than just here's some cash. And while cash is always great, or PayPal or whatever, there's something a little bit more personal about receiving like an item instead. especially because he's a buddy, and it's hard to justify. In my opinion, it is hard to justify. It's hard to justify charging friends for things that you would do to most people. We don't really charge on here because Osiris and I we don't rely on any money we make. We don't rely on it. It's not something that we're like, all right, this month we're getting this much money and that's going to go pay these bills. It's like, no, we used to save for traveling. Traveling's not going to be something we do for a long time. So now it's kind of like, cool, we can maybe get some cool keyboard stuff. When we initially started, we were like, it'd be nice to make money to throw that money back at this hobby so we could, buy cool things with money that we make from, doing this content. And then when we started making the content, we were like, well, let's make money and put it right back into making more content. And then traveling got shut down, and we've kind of reached what we would, anything we get above what we have now for content creation would kind of just be extra. So post for it to go live happens in 2 hours. There you go. All right, so who is it? Steelwind, Valhalla. It is a fantastic game. Is it? I really enjoy it. There are things obviously that I am nitpicky on. I have been a fan of Assassin's Creed for a long time. I've played 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, 4, Black Flag. That's the same title for most of you know, as well as Odyssey and now Valhalla. There are things that I really like about it. I think the combat is fantastic. I think the landscapes are beautiful. All in all, it's got a solid story. Is it as good as Odyssey? In my opinion, no. I think it is really, really good, though. Like, I'm not saying don't buy it, buy Odyssey. I might buy Odyssey instead just because it's a game before another game, but it's a really, really good game. You get to play as a Viking. You get to run around and throw axes at people or hit people with hammers, which you can do in Odyssey, but it's just different, right? It's great. I have put many hours into it so far. I have not been bored. And that's all you can ask for of a game, right? And it prevented me from spending money on Cyberpunk immediately. So I'm excited to play Cyberpunk. I think it'll be a fun game when I get to it. But for right now, there is no need for me to buy it, as I don't... So, like, my wife plays a lot more video games than I do. I'm just not super used to that new combat system. Yeah, it's a little different. But you get used to it pretty quick in my experience. You get used to it pretty darn fast. So, but my wife plays a lot, a much wider variety of games than I do. She doesn't like watching shows or movies or anything like that. So a lot of times, like, if I'm sitting, or sports, so if I'm like watching the Packers play or I'm watching a TV show or something, she'll play video games instead. So she plays a lot more video games than I do. So I typically will play, I've got like the games I play with my friends. So like Among Us and Golf with Friends is another great one. We used to play a lot of Call of Duty together, and just kind of whatever the group is feeling at the time. And don't forget King of Crabs, absolutely. So we have that, and then Valhalla is kind of like my downtime game, and I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic, but I never really have more than one downtime game at a time. Because typically my motivation to play a single player game is driven by specifically one game that I want to play, and right now it's Valhalla. I'm excited to try Cyberpunk, as a lot of my friends enjoy it, and obviously they spend a lot of time on it, so I imagine it's not terrible. But if you are looking to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla and you are worried it might not be the best purchase, in my opinion, it is a fantastic game and one that you will not be upset purchasing. But what is anybody working on some keyboard stuff? Who is working on what this weekend? We lubing switches for a build this week. We building something this week. We expecting something in the mail this week. I'm making a case. There you go. Sorry for the yawn. Just gotta hydrate. Currently lubing mauves. There you go. Casting resin. Another winner. Another winner. All right, let's get some lube on some wires. So that's what I've been looking for. Going to put these in, ensure that they are the right way before you get too far in. So whenever we pop the wire in, just make sure it can freely move, as that can be a bit annoying when you're doing this. So I like to just kind of preliminarily, is that a word? I don't think that's a word. That's a word in my vocabulary. Preliminarily. About to build a barleycorn soon. Need to get some switches lubed for it. It will be my first build. Good luck. That is quite the first build. Respect. And from now on, any other build that you do is going to be and seem much easier and quicker. I would love a barleycorn, but right now I'm gonna wait. I've got a couple more boards showing up. I guess, well, the squids are going to be taking up 90% of my time here soon. And then the Godspeed 75 is supposed to be here in February. So hoping that gets to me safely. I know the another board that I cannot mention quite yet is coming to me, but I am excited. RP, I'm nervous. Yeah, that's, I mean, honestly, I'll be honest, you know, I've built dozens of boards, and God, I sat down and counted one day a while ago, and I want to say it was like close to 60 if I count the amount of times I've rebuilt a board. And I've built a discipline. Now, granted that it was for a customer, so I wanted to make sure it was perfect, but I was nervous. I was very nervous, but you know, we got it done. You got it done. Honestly, give yourself time and take your time. That's the best thing I can say. There is literally no rush. If you're getting frustrated, you know, maybe build it on if you have a table or a card table or something that's away from your desk, your main area, maybe build it there instead. Because sometimes it's best to just kind of put it down and walk away, right? Come back with a fresh mind. I personally would not build it all at once. I would if you can do this, what I would do is do all the diodes first, bend them and put them in, solder them up, and then take a break. I would honestly just even if it's a 20-minute break, step outside, watch a TV show, watch a YouTube video, watch an old terrible Mechs on Deck video, and just chill, right? And just relax, because you need your brain to kind of reset for a little bit, because the diodes, that's kind of the easy part. The other part of all the other resistors and all that stuff, that's the stuff that you only get like one shot, right? So take your time with that. Really watch. If you have to sit there and look at the diagram 100 times to do it, because you know you don't want to mess that part up. And just take your time. just take your time because, that's why I would recommend giving yourself a lot of time, or maybe even come back and do it another day. And just relax. And then once you knock that out, test the PCB. And honestly, at that point, I wouldn't even build the board that day, because you're going to be doing probably close to 5 hours of work without even building the board. So at that point, I would just put it away. Just, okay, PCB's done, put it in the box, come back to it the next day. You'll be fresh and able to build the board. That's exactly what I would do. I split up my discipline build. I did all the components one day, and then I did the switches the next day. Yeah, that's how I did the one I did for a customer. So we're lubing the wires. I usually am popping switches in right now, but one, I've been talking, and two, these, 7 stabs. That's a lot of stabs. The barley corn is going to be a marathon, absolutely. And treat it as such. It's not a race. Who are you racing? Split the discipline build. But so one kind of big announcement, one thing I'm very excited about, that we haven't really talked about quite yet is, well, we hinted at it. So I was talking to one of my favorite people in the hobby, Jay from Top Clack. Anytime we get a chance to chat, to converse, it's always a fun time. Jay is just one of the smartest people I know in the keyboard hobby, and just such a nice, genuine person. We were talking, and they've changed up their schedule some, but the 24th and the 25th fell on Thursday, Friday. And we have been talking about wanting to do a Mechs on Deck Top Clack stream for a hot minute. And I said, well, why don't we do this? Because I don't know if you guys are wanting to stream on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Streams like that, when you are a streamer, holidays are kind of hit or miss. Some people really like it and like the kind of getaway, and a lot of people might just genuinely be busy. So when you're a streamer, you kind of have to look at those and go, okay, well, our numbers might be lower, our activity, maybe we don't do something super crazy on that day, maybe we reschedule that day. And so we were like, well, why don't we bring Top Clack onto Mechs on Deck? We have people on Wednesday streams all the time. Let's bring them on, and we'll do kind of the Top Clack Mechs on Deck holiday special. So we're going to be giving away a lot of stuff. We do have kind of a topic for the night, our end of the year kind of topic. So we'll be chatting with them. We'll be playing lots of marbles, giving stuff away, having just a jolly old good time. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. I know Jay and Quakeums and Osiris are very excited for it. So it'll be a blast. I'm excited. And one of the highlights of the year, I think it will be, because those guys are just so much fun to hang out with. The Giveaway Alliance is an awesome idea. The Captain Black. Hell yeah. We were talking, we both kind of went like, well, we've each got stuff to give away. Why not we just give it all away the couple days? So that'll be Wednesday, December 23rd. So right before we start, many of us who celebrate Terrence Fox, what's up? Right before many of us might be busy with holiday gatherings or holiday traditions or anything like that. 23rd, Come celebrate with us. Get some giveaways. Get some stuff. Should be a good time. Should be a grand old time. So almost done. Lubing these stabs. Maddie Rice, thank you for the follow. Boy, howdy indeed. So 7 stabs. So what we're doing here is left shift, backspace, enter, and then space bar. And then this full size, something you just don't see in a lot of keyboards, is a 2U enter key, or 2U 0 key, I should say, on the numpad. Typically that's sacrificed for a 1U 0 key. That's kind of the 90% of the point of the Austin is for that 2U 0 key. So a stab on that, and then the enter and the plus key as well on the numpad, leaving it to 7 stabs, which is why it is 2:53 and I am still lubing stabs. But keyboard, Terrence Fox, if you're curious about the keyboard that is on my desk, it is a Baka 60, a 60% keyboard designed by myself and Blind Assassin. If you are interested in it, I will be the Squid 60, which is the same thing with a different name. Just a rename and a couple different options on the plate. Those extras will be running soon. It is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I love my Baka. How much are the extras going to be? I have not pinpoint an exact amount. It will be more than group buy. So full disclosure, the group buy was $360. It will be more than that. Extras, you take a risk at buying a bunch because, I mean, there's obviously all the chance of people just not buying the extras. So I know some people disagree with it, but I was very clear with, this group buy is so that I can pay off vet bills for my dog that passed away. My dog's name was Squid, hence the name Squid 60. So you take the risk. So it's going to cost more. It's not going to be like something like $500 or anything like that. So don't worry about that. But bro, it took me 4 hours to lube 65 switches on stream. I feel that. Split backspace is the way on the Austin. One more spot for an artisan. Hell yeah, dude. That's not what we're doing here, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I mean, that would have been one less stab to lube, I guess. But anyway, we are going to move forward. We're going to place some stabs, and if you can think of a stab spot, there it is. What plate materials did you go with on the Squid? I can't remember. The plate is brass. What the main difference in the two boards is, the biggest difference is going to be the fact that the plate allows for split backspace. So I built the board that I wanted, right? So on this build, the only option you can have is whether you want a stepped caps or a standard caps. That's the only option you can have. Everything else, you have a switch, it goes in that spot. If I took all the caps off, you wouldn't be able to see the PCB except for where the step caps is. That's what not integrated plate, but a fixed layout. It was very important to me that it was a fixed layout, as it's really easy to build on a fixed layout. And the biggest reason I had put this is because the Instant 60 PCB was not stepped, and stepped that's something that it's just a little wider. It doesn't have, I hate like the ISO plates that have all the weird cutouts that makes your backspace look goofy. It just and I wanted to put Holy Pandas in this board, so I didn't want to have to worry about aligning the switches perfectly. One bro per sitting of desoldering. Yeah, I feel you, man. And then last but not least, it adds a lot the sound quality of the integrated plate because it's just more to vibrate, right? And then so the differences on the Squid 60 is the right shift. You can do a full right shift. I don't know why anybody would want to. There's no ISO support, but you can do the 2U backspace as well on the Squid 60. So I did not want to. I looked at it as, well, I've got the board that I like. I have the board that I want. I don't need. I'm not, the Squid 60 is not for me. The Squid 60 is people looking at the Baka 60 and going, hey, I want that. And it was kind of baffling to me that how many people were like, yeah, I really want that board. And I was kind of like, all right, well, how would you compare Holy Pandas to T1s? I think Holy Pandas, I think the bump is a little more pronounced, and I think that the Holy Pandas sound a smidge better. But I'm not going to say, T1s are just fine. We can do a sound test with these two, although it's going to be different because it's top mount versus sandwich mount. But it is brass plate and brass plate. So. And I need a different bit. So, but I'm very excited for those squids to get in people's hands. I'm excited to run the extras by because I genuinely think, it's hard for me to seem as if I am being, I'm not, I love this board. How about Zycos and Holy Pandas? I will go into that in just a moment, but I genuinely think a lot of people are going to like this board, the Squid and the Baka, because it's not the fanciest, right? It's not. I always talk about it's the perfect beater board. It's a solid board. It's a brick. It's 5 pounds. It sounds really good. It feels really good. It's nice and stiff. It's definitely not for the people that are. Man, our USPS driver was just booking it through the complex. It doesn't have the fancy features, right? How many Bakas were made? Bakas, there were 20. There were exactly 20. And I have a buddy of mine who is selling his. So if you are very interested in wanting an OG Baka, PM me on Discord and I will respond to it after. As not many of those are being sold. Obviously I have mine. Osiris has his. Our awesome moderator Brez has a Baka in a very cool custom purple. A lot of us got Cerakoted Bakas. This blue is not an offered color. It was a Cerakote. So I messaged you about it the other day. I'm really tempted, but my wife will kill me. It's art. It's art. Let's see. Zycos and Holy Pandas. Comparing Holy Pandas and Zycos. So, Holy Pandas still are going to sound better, but the whole point of a Zyco was to make a Holy Panda, make a Zelio sound as good as a Holy Panda. Do they sound as good? I don't think so. I think Holy Panda sound better. But do Zycos sound really, really good? Absolutely. Because whenever I was... And I don't want anyone to think I was sitting there like, time to craft the coolest Switch ever. I think I've told this story a few times now, so if you've heard it, my apologies for boring you. But I made a Xanda, which is a Zelio stem inside of a Panda housing. And I was like, okay, I think I'll put this in my next build just to have something different. And then I was like, well, these parts are just laying here. Screw it. So I just slapped it. I tried a Holy Panda stem. I tried a Halo stem inside of a Zelio, and I was like, I actually like this way better than the Xanda. But it still sounds like a Zelio, which I don't like. The whole point of Zycos was to get away from that sound. Because I really don't like the sound of Zelios, and I left a screw. And so I was like, I wonder if I take the top from a Panda and I slap it onto the bottom of a Zelio with a Halo stem, and I have not looked back. All right, so let's try some switches. When you want to build a board with Holy Pandas, do you make them yourself? Yes, I do. Any board that I build for myself, I will make all the parts. It's not that I don't trust anybody else, but I have a very particular way I lube for me. Well, I don't know what I'm doing this for, because I need a plate. I think HP and its derivatives are still best tactile switch. I think you're not wrong. I think Holy Pandas are my favorite non-Zyco switch. And, you know, if we're being technical, a Zyco is on 2/3 of a Holy Panda. So, or of a, yeah, it's 2/3 Holy Panda, 1/3 Zelio. I don't know if that went in correctly. It did. Aloha. What's up, dude? Ukulele Dad, guys. If you want some good, old-fashioned, wholesome content, check out Ukulele Dad. He streams on weekdays a lot and Saturdays, just playing his ukulele, just making the world a better place. You know, how could you ever be upset at that? So we're getting some preliminary switches in to get this put together. But when you want to build a board, okay, I already answered that. But yeah, I do make them myself. I lube, 3204. I lube in a strange way of like, just I make sure that all the parts are exactly to what I want. And then I lube my stabs completely, like a lot heavier than most people do, because I like the break-in. I lube my switches a little bit heavier than, if I'm lubing for someone else, I will typically lube how a lot of people think that, okay, this is a good lube stab. It's something that doesn't rattle, it sounds good, and the switch feels like a switch. For me, it's a stab. So if I tried Glorious Pandas, I'll talk about that in just a moment. But at the end of the day, it is a stab. So, like, I know it's a different switch, so I want it to feel a little bit different. Let's test. Let's just put that here. No, whatever. I want it to feel like a stab. I want it to be maximum smoothness. So I will always, some call it overlube. That's accurate. So yeah, I lube the ever-loving shit out of my stabs, especially on linears. Like my crown, it was like almost hard to type on at first. So I would say anyone who plays pretty much any instrument also learn a little ukulele and get one. It's way up in terms of fun. It is. So far, so good. Also, if you overlube a little bit, after a while, it's going to spread out. It's going to feel great. So our stabs are done. We'll get the soldering iron out after I do a little cleaning up. But, drop the key because, it's chewy build stream. Got to drop something. So. But we got got quite the mess going on here. And if you guys know me or have heard me talk about it, I hate a messy area. It's like I can't get my head, I can't think straight when everything's all messy. So, put that there. And I urge you all to try it that way, you know, if when you're building, try and keep it clean. It's an experience. Every board I build is an experience that I enjoy. Except the TX75 V2, fuck that build. I like cooking clean as you go, absolutely. I don't do that though. That's the one. Well, clean as I go with keyboards. Look, when I cook aggressively. And my wife is like, what the hell happened here? And I'm like, yes. I cooked a great dinner and destroyed the kitchen in the process. Any favorite Switch films? I don't film my Switches. In my opinion, I can't tell the difference. That's just 100% honest. Like I just, whenever I like type on, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I guess it's just not for me. Plus, you know, we got this to eat directly over our keyboards today, so that should be fun. I didn't ask Hellbent, but I'm sure he's totally cool with it. So, but no, that's not to say that, you know, that's not to say that you got to eat, exactly, you got to eat something, right? You know, that's not to say that films are bad. If you like them, don't let me deter you. That's a personal thing. I'm like, it's never like clicked with me that's been like something that has been solid, right? It's like, I tried it and I was like, cool, I can't tell. It seems like a whole lot of effort for minimal gain. Oh, what? Excuse me. I'm sure it's by the picture. What do I think of Durlock Stabilizers V2? I want to try them because I'll be honest, some of the Durock stabs pop out and it drives me insane. Are you wanting regular caps lock, by the way, Hellbent? Let me know. I think you do, based on the picture you sent me. So, I know they added like a little extra something in there to like... Yeah, you do? Okay, good. They added a little something in there to like prevent, like I guess there's an extra little thing to cover it. So, thoughts on Glorious Pandas versus Holy Pandas? So, I have Glorious Pandas coming. Cyrus and I ordered a bunch. So I will let you know. I'm going to put, hopefully the squid gets here soon, because then I can do a Glorious Panda versus a Holy Panda, and essentially the same, and in the same build, because I have a Baka plate, so it'll be the exact same thing. It'll be the exact same thing. I can compare them side by side, right? With exact, you know, with how I lube. It'll be the same spring, because 74-gram springs from Novel Keys and Holy Pandas, in my opinion, are the best spring for a Holy Panda. So I'm excited. Should be fun. I will let you know. Give you all the deets. Okay. So, when you start soldering, it is best to just take a little solder, just dump it on, spring it around, and boom, get yourself a nice clean soldering tip. Great, more switches I have to buy. That's how I felt when I started. Trust me, it never stops. thoughts? That would be a great experiment. Yeah, I'm excited. You know, I've been sitting here contemplating. So I got one squid for myself. I'm never going to change the baka, but I've been legitimately contemplating holding on to an extra one and just have 2 of the exact same builds. Or 2 of, like, everything except the switches. So then I can accurately, like, hey, here's this switch, put them against each other. I have B-Sun Pandas in the mail, Halo Trues sitting in the drawer right now, so I'm taking notes. Should I grab some heavier springs too? Up for some experimentation. If you go above 74, 78, if you find like 75, 78, I know like TX I think sells 75, 78 gram springs are a common one. If you go above that, it really starts rounding out the switch too much, in my opinion, and you start losing a lot of the tactility. 74 gram from Novel Keys, I think, is kind of that perfect sweet spot where it's snappy but still bumpy. There's a sentence also. Should probably like use that for what it's used for. So and then like and these are the B-Sun ones. I believe the Jesus. I can double check that because now I feel like I'm lying. Yeah. So these are the Holy Jesus from the very first run. The wildly intense ride that was following the Jesus Switch controversies. It's just crazy to me to think that like how much things are going for flipped prices now. Like what the Holy Pandas would be at by now. You know, would they be $30 a Switch? If they never found them and there was still only like 10,000? Like that's an interesting take. Just getting our initial switches in to lock the plate and PCB in place. I will typically start with the corners as well as the stabilized switches. It just makes putting in switches after so much easier. I definitely recommend it. Fan's not really helping when it's angled. Let's see, am I missing anything? Got that. Middle kit switch. And I think we Gucci. Did I get that one? Yep. Nathan Alphaman, what's up, my dude? Guys, if you have not seen the Polybius, the GMK Polybius, I think that's how you say it. Check out GMK Polybius. It's fantastic. Very reminiscent of roller rinks, although that's not what he's going for. He's going for an arcade theme. Not much, man. I'm building in Austin, so, you know, just shit tons of stabilizers. No shill, but yes, listen to Chewy. Listen, I'm not going to say that the guy that's made arguably the best key set I've ever seen in person makes bad things. I'm just saying that one of the best keycap sets I've ever seen in person has made another keycap set. So, just saying. Shout out to my wife, who I can hear cleaning something in the other room. So when I get done with stream, I get to be like, oh, fuck yeah. Shit's clean. Nathan is also can't talk today. Also, the designer of the Evolve keyboard, which I cannot wait to get my hands on, and will be begging him to sell me an aluminum one. So, and while I beg him, I will probably still be sitting here putting switches in this case, because mother of God, there are so many switches in this case. I'm excited to, because I remember how the first one felt. They were unlubed T1s, which made me a little scared of the Austin. But I had to remind myself that they were unlubed T1s. With springs I don't like. So these, I don't know what springs these are. I've kind of forgot. I think they might just be stock, which means if they're stock, they're probably like 67 grams. T1 sound terrible to you? I mean, yeah. I mean, I can get that. There are sometimes I don't think they are the best sounding switch. Honestly, I think they feel really good. I think they can sound fine, especially if they are lubed. But they kind of have that Zelio curse, in my opinion, where it just, when you hear something like a Panda, 3204, 78 grams or bust. Hell yeah, dude. Well, 74 gram is just as good, Nathan Alphaman. I'll say that. But on Zelio's 78 gram or bust. 3204, I think, can get a little too heavy for T1s, honestly. I think T1s suffer the most from accidental overlubing. Because I have a bunch of T1s sitting in my closet right now that I lubed with 3204 and thought, man, these feel terrible. I don't use anything but 3203 on tactile. So I only use 3204, so that's another reason I'm not a big fan of T1s. But I guess, so that's a lie. Zyko's had 3203, but that's because I don't even think they need much more than that. Because Zelios are already pretty smooth, so adding more to that I just didn't think was super necessary. I didn't lube the Halo stem, I just lubed the inside of the housing. I'll wrap this up and then I'm going to take a quick 3-minute stretch break. A grind box break, as I have called it. An ergonomic grind walk around. Good evening, Venda. Hello, hello. Good evening. More good afternoon on our end, but if it's evening for you, good evening. I don't know if the LED stuff was in the box. I didn't see any. I'll look. That's an easy... I mean, I'll just pop those in. Even after the build. I will double check that, though. Thank you. A grind box break. Absolutely. It's good to stand up every little bit. I will check the box, Hellbent. If it's not, it's an easy... I mean, I'll walk you through it. I'll walk you through it on stream. I don't think I have any LEDs. I need to grab some just because I like... As someone who builds stuff for people, keyboards for people, I like to have extra things on hand. Like a couple different sets of stabs. Usually wires are the best for that. Just stab wires and stuff in case, you know, something messes up. I have a bunch of different switches and other things, though, so... Deep vein thrombosis is no joke. It is not. Also, I'm just, you know, building a keyboard, it's hard. I wish I had a standing desk for this, right? Because building a keyboard can be difficult on the back because you're hunched over trying to do stuff, so... That's a nice Baka right there. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And when I go on a quick walk around break, if you have been sitting, I would recommend you stand up and do a quick walk around break because it is important. We sit, most of us in our jobs, probably a lot of us in our jobs sit for long periods of time, as there are not a whole lot of jobs that stand. I mean, there are. I'm sure there are actually quite a few. But there are, more often than not, we are in a lifestyle that sits down, a culture that likes to sit down a lot. So it's good to stand up. So we've got 4 extra switches. I'm going to check. It's very easy to tell if there's anything out of line if you just look down the rows. The T1s went in very easily into this plate. We're just making sure the pins went through on all of them. Looks to be pretty good. Don't see any blatant issues. All right, sexy. It is a nice PCB. I built, so this is the 3rd time I built on this PCB. It's a very, very lovely PCB. 3rd time I built in Austin. So I'm gonna take a quick fiver, if that, probably less than that. Stand up, walk around, and we'll be back with the rest of this build. Oh yeah, brother. We're back. So we're going to get back into the soldering. I feel good. Popped my back a little bit. Walked around. Always good to take breaks. I don't know how Osiris can do this for like 6 hours straight and not even get out of his chair. I'm like, respect. I could never do that. So, this music is a jam. Yeah, dude. This playlist in general is just a lot of fun. This is by Harris Heller. He's a content creator and streamer, and he does a lot of stuff on like how to improve your own streams. So, I think it's just, he just does really, really good work. And then he made this, and it's basically copyright-free music, so it will never get DMCA'd or anything like that. Safe to use. As that can be obviously a little bit annoying when you're using music. I get the concept, but you know, I remember I played like Chilled Cow music on one of the first build streams. Where can we find it's on this is on Spotify. So if you have Spotify, it's called like Stream Beats, I think. And by Harris Heller, HARRISHELLER. So just a very cool idea, but it's chill. It's super chill. I don't listen to it outside of streaming because I kind of like looking forward to listening to it. But yeah, I played like Chilled Cow in the background, and I put it up. We put it up on YouTube. It went up, and then in the morning, I have a text from Osiris, and he's like, "Bruh, what happened?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "We had like 12 copyright claims on you." Basically meaning on YouTube, it was like you can't, if someone claims it, then that you can't make money off of it. And I was like, oh, I mean, back then we couldn't because it was still our channel was very small. But it was just funny because he was like, dude, like 14 different emails saying this song and this song and this song and this song. These are all these. That desk mat is sick. Where do I get one and who made it? That is such... What a question. I wonder who. So, where can you get it? Soon, it'll be on Dixie Mac. We're just waiting on another proto for this. The great, fantastic, and amazing Jenly Bean made this desk mat. It was actually in the middle of a D&D session when I think I was like, oh my god, stained glass would be cool. And she was like, oh shit, that's a great idea. And I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we incorporate basically these two colors, this maroon and this kind of pinky tan. And then she was like, I'm just gonna kind of roll with it. And I was like, hell yeah, brother, let's go. And then she sent me this, and I was like, oh shit. And she's like, well, I don't even like it. And so she sent me like 15 different like updates to it, and we landed on this, and I think it's great. As a desk mat, this one was just misaligned a little awkwardly, so we're just I want to make sure that the product that comes out, one, is not misaligned or anything, because I don't want people to think that Jenly Bean did anything wrong when it's just kind of a goofy situation. She's a fantastic artist and designer, so I wouldn't want something that I do to tarnish her name. So, good things come to those who wait. So this will be running sometime next year, and I will keep you updated. She is definitely Jenly Queen. So for soldering, for those wondering, I solder at 660 degrees. It is a little bit toastier than what a lot of people do. It is not toastier than what Lang does. Lang solders at 661 degrees because he's Lang. And so it's a bit warm. I might start at 600. 650 just allows me to kind of do it a little bit quicker. But you do you. As we move on through the numpad of the second row. Yes, Genly Bean is... First off, hold on. Be right back. So that art is Genly. I that was a long time ago. I was like, wouldn't this be cool? And then she was like, oh, let's look at this again. Like, really look at all the details and really compliment Genly Bean. So for those who... Well, this is the wrong screen to go back to. Hold on. So for those who don't know, camping used to be my favorite set. Might need to hit up Genly Queen for an Ursa artwork. Now that Ursa has kind of taken over my love, my affection of keycap sets. But camping went with the theme, kind of with the camping site. And I absolutely love it. And I use it as my Be Right Back screen. And the fact that she put Welcome to Camp Chewy just made my heart melt. So, I'm excited. I always love that. Every time I've thought about changing it, I'm like, nah. She also, I won't show it because it's like unreleased artwork that she was working on that she like then took in a wildly different direction. But she sent me this picture and I really, really liked it. So I immediately set it as my background in my computer. It's been my background forever. And she's always like, oh my God, it's not even the done piece. And I'm like, it's amazing. I will not show that one off specifically because as it is not technically a like completed piece, I don't want... I imagine against the wishes of the artist. She can tell me, please don't compliment me, and I'll ignore her, but if she asks me not to show off artwork that she has not completed and shown off to other people, I will not do that. But she is an amazing artist. And she's a really good artist, but she's an even better friend. Boom. Looks like Robot Fever Dream Guide? Yeah, it does. And it looks sick. But as we like to say, actually, shit, I don't know which one it is. Hold on. I completely forgot which one it is. See, that's what I'm I'm literally trying to find that right now. So if I just start randomly spamming like audio clips, that's why.
Brass!
Yeah, it's not even showing me which one I want. All right, we're just going to do this until it pops up.
Brass!
So that's Brass. All right.
Wild Bill!
That's Wild Bill. Okay.
Party
There it
girl,
is. Okay.
boy stay home!
There it is.
Party girl,
Boom.
boy stay
Party
home!
girls, boys stay home. I can't even hear it, but I know it's coming through. If it's really loud, I'm sorry, not sorry. The downside of macro pads is, yeah, absolutely, when you have no idea what you set stuff to. So we are almost done with the second row of the never-ending gauntlet of soldering switches. Okay, my friend's wife was, oh yeah, party girls, boys stay home. Absolutely. Let's get one more time with Mr. Lang.
Party girl, boy, stay home.
It was something someone said that was friends with Genly, and since then, we've adopted it. We have adopted it. So, guys, I want to give a quick shout out to our awesome sponsors. We've got switchmod.net/mexondeck. If you use that link or promo code mexondeck, you can get 4% off of your entire order, and that is group buys. So something like the GMK Muted 2 that is coming out soon. That is coming out in January. It will not work on something like that, but if you like Muted 2, you can check that out. That is, like I said, coming out in January. Be sure to keep an eye on that. You can go to mexondeck.dixiemech.com and pick up GMK 8008-2. If you like the blue little accents there too, that kind of, if you want that kit, that's a really, really cool little extra kit. It's a fantastic set to look at. It's a very, very gray navy. QMK driver to install. Depends on what you have. Computer wise, I know one of my buddies, Moon, his QMK stuff took like forever. But there was something wrong, but not super duper long, if I remember correctly. But anyway, GMK 8008-2 or 80,082 is live right now, so you can pick that up. It's also got awesome desk mats there. Next up on that list is Canon Keys. So you can go to canonkeys.com/mexondeck for GMK Pink on Navy, a very cool desk mat for Pink on Navy, as well as a great set if you kind of like that, if you like the navy aesthetic with some pink accents in there, some pink coloring in there. Is great. One of those switches was not seated all the way. So be sure to check that out. They also have lots of switches on the site, as well as some cases. So great place to pick stuff up. Canon Keys, I really think, has upped their game in regards to in-stock items. So glad to see. And then lastly, Project Keyboards. You can go to mexondeck.project.link. GMK Stealth will be coming out soon, and as well as lots of other items that will be shipping out soon, as well as extras from those items. So be sure to take a look there. And we also have some amazing partners. Zap Cables. So they made the cable right here. He makes the best cables in the business. Absolutely love Zap Cables. So if you want a cable to end all cables, or multiple cables to end all multiple cables, who knows? Check him out. He does pre-built stuff. From time to time, he will do custom orders. Or if you want to learn how to make a cable, making cables are pretty easy, honestly. So, but as we move along, we also have Type Beast. You can go to typebea.st. He has a fantastic newsletter, and that newsletter, he just writes about different group buys and things that are happening in the community. So be sure to subscribe to that. Read up on what's happened. Read up on what is happening. And it is just a great, he's just a great guy. And then last but not least, Smithrune, smithandrune.com. They've got great merch. They've got comfy sweatpants. They've got amazing keyboards. Iron 180 just ran. Iron 165 ran last year. So be sure to check out extras for these group buys. Hold on real quick. But yeah, be sure to check out extras for these group buys as they will be going up Smith & Rune as well as Canon Keys. So check all of that stuff out. 1 second. Just fixing. Now it's a little too bright. But I have one more stock left, so we're good. But those are our awesome sponsors, and while they help us do the stream, we would not be able to do the awesome stuff that we do without the viewers. So thank you guys for being here and watching. It always warms my heart when I see someone go, "Oh my gosh, I watched your content," and I'm like, "Oh, you spent time out of your day." So there's that. Vendom, thank you for the follow. Pac-Man84 followed also a while ago. Thank you. Thank you guys very much for the follows. You know, something we haven't plugged in a while. So subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. All the content that we stream, usually a couple days to a week later, we will post it on our YouTube channel. So be sure to check out that. We're trying to hit the goal of 1,000 subs on YouTube. That's obviously free, by the way, not subs on Twitch. 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So let's see if we can get that late push. We have, what, 19 days left to get like 40 YouTube subs. So if you have not subbed to us on YouTube, please go subscribe now, as that would be a fun little goal to hit right at the end of the year. So we are over halfway done soldering this board. You're good. Never a bad time to bust out a glockenspiel solo. Yeah, you're fine. But yeah, we are getting close to being done. I'm excited for the keycap set. He provided the keycap set since he is local. You could ship it, but obviously it's just easier when you're local, right? Yeah, if you are in the Dallas area and you would like for Osiris or myself to build you a keyboard, Osiris is my partner in crime on all interview streams. Well, most of them, unless one of us is unfortunately sick for whatever reason. So, we will happily build your board. If you got a board, you live in Dallas, you're a little, maybe you don't want to build it, maybe you don't want to build your first board, maybe you don't want to build a high-end board, maybe you're just lazy and you don't want to build it. We will build it. We typically build for free. Snacks are welcome. Snacks are always welcome, right? So we are starting the final heavy row of switches. I'm excited to use this board. Hellbent, if you're listening, I'll probably get this over to you tomorrow for 100% selfish reasons that I want to use this for a day. And I want to take some good pictures of it. So, I'm sorry if that upsets you. Let's see. Roughly how many boards would you say that roll of solder lasts? A lot. This, I have built 3 boards with another spool of solder. I have built probably close to 70 boards. This is what I use. This solder spool. This solder spool was given to me the summer of 2018 for helping 001 Anthony move. He gave me the spool of solder. Was it? So it's worth. It's like $35 or something like that. Absolutely worth it. I have streamed, I have built, I don't know, yeah, somewhere around 50 or 60 boards. So probably closer to like 45 to 55, probably around 50 boards. And I mean, there's still layers. I don't want to like sit there and unravel it, but this is going to be, I'm going to use, this will probably last me all of 2021 and into 2022. So, unless for whatever reason, every single build, I build in Austin every single week. And even then, I think it will last a long ass time. Bought the 1 pound, just wasn't sure how long it'll last, but probably my lifetime is what it sounds. So that's what that's what I tell people. It is good to never have to worry about certain things, right? You buy things to not have to worry about them. The Heiko soldering iron that I use, I purchased because I know it's good. I know it's quality. I don't have, when I sit down to stream, I don't have to worry about my soldering iron not working. I don't have to worry about not having solder. I would rather worry about things like I don't have lube, because that can be a little bit easier to handle and a little bit cheaper. But you buy the nicer stuff at first, you don't have to worry about what comes next, right? The only things I really have to replace are the tips of the soldering iron, which, I mean, when you're heating solder up extremely hot, you're going to go through tips. Doesn't matter if you have the nicest soldering iron on the planet, the tips do need to be replaced. But not for a long time. But yeah, you get that, you see yourself maybe owning 7 to 10 keyboards over your lifetime. You can rebuild them 5 times each. Never gonna run out of solder. Good for cables as well. So as we are starting our last row, which will be a quick row, as there are not that many keys on the bottom row. So tomorrow works for me. Hell yeah. So yeah, I mean, and it's good solder too. Like, this solder is really easy to desolder. We have a desoldering gun between Osiris and I, so it's, it can sort of be a moot point, but with like a pump or 1.5, sweet. With a pump, it makes it easier. With a desoldering gun, it makes it like just a really easy, like, oh, I need to desolder this. I'm not worried. Fits on this little spool. Spool's a great little pickup. So, should be done. One thing I want to point out, especially right here, is, come on, my camera does not want to focus today. So as you can see, there are arrows pointing to which keys are used for what, which spots are used for what switch, and I really appreciate that. Come on. Let's get you back in focus. Nope, it just wants to follow Zycos. So as you can kind of see, it just shows you which the 1.5 versus the 1.25, which I really, really like. I think that's a very nice touch. So,
Who is that?
URYFTW, thank you for the party of 33 raid. Hello, hello, welcome. We are building an Austin, a custom keyboard. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. This is the innards of said custom keyboard. Raiders, so welcome. This is the Austin. It's a full size, specifically with a 2U. We're about to test and see if I did the old solder correctly. So thank you very much. Hey, you seem unfriendly. Noted. All right, well, I apologize that you think that way, but you know, it is what it is. I can only hope to convince you otherwise. So we missed the S. We missed the S already. Just a great start, right? And we missed a tab apparently. But that's why we do this, right? That is why we do this. Looks like I missed a couple keys, but not a worry. Windows, just like he asked for. We got our enter, shift works. 0. Oh, this is goofy. Things are about to get a little crazy. So, my apologies. All right. Hold on. Why are we not working? Numpad, and there we go. All right, cool. My apologies on that. That was a little goofy because a lot of mine are set to numpad keys on this macro pad. But it worked out. So we need to check our F row. Page up, page down, and insert. Okay, so we missed tab S. We did not miss space. Left alt is actually left window. So tab S and pipe key. Those don't look like T1s. They are, in fact, T1s. We did forget our pipe key. I am hoping that these are all just missed switches. As the S does not look. Their top housing look different. It could just be a different batch. There are lots of batches of T1s. But I am curious as to why tab and S do not work. Down arrow, one of the... Oh, okay. Well, thank you on that one. That's an easy fix. The next two are a little bit more difficult because I don't know what's wrong with them yet, but let's test that. We got that one. Down arrow works. Switch Doctor AU. How's it going? So we're going to desolder these. Could be a weird, it could just be an awkward switch. It could just straight up not be programmed at the moment. That is a possibility. There's no diode from what I can see on the tab. I mean, you're not wrong. There is, in fact, not a diode on that one. So we'll have to find an old PCB. What about the S? The S has a diode. If this doesn't work, we might just have to get a little creative. That's not the tool that I want. So let's see if the S even works. Okay, so the S works. Bad switch. Not a problem. Easy fix. The diode part, that is a little trickier, but we'll figure it out. And this is why it's important to have extra switches. So, got this. S works. Tab is not going to work yet. For reason F12 and print scroll are just there. So, I'm going to take a quick second. I'm going to go grab an old PCB and snag a diode from an old PCB. Pop it on here and see if we can get it to work. So give me just one moment and I'll be right back. Okay, so what are we going to do? You have a diode missing from your PCB. You are fortunate enough to have some PCB that is long since unused and messed up. You have a buddy who has one. Diodes are on all PCBs. It's what is going to have the switch actually like give information. I don't know 100%, but in Explain Like I'm 5 terms, it is the reason that switches are able to send a signal to the microchip. That's probably the smartest thing I've said on this stream ever. But it's important for the functionality. They are small, they are tiny, and they are tricky to put on. And you also have to worry about the orientation of which way it goes. I like this one because on the top, let's see if our camera will actually focus. On the top, there is a white bar. On the bottom, there's a thin white bar as opposed to a thick on top, so it lets you know the orientation. This PCB is old. It's for a Tofu V2 or a Tofu Win keyless. So it's got two PCB or two USB cutouts. I literally can't use this on any of my boards. So it is now a hot swap. I use it whenever I run out of, if I need a diode or, hold on. I literally popped it off and now I don't know where it went. brilliant. Well, this is why we have more than one. Okay, this time, we're actually going to grab it. And we have about 60 shots at this, so let's hope. So what we're going to do, kind of like whenever we solder a cable, we're going to add a little solder to it first, so it's a lot easier to just place the diode in. It is called tinning, and it works really well. This is where ceramic tweezers would be really good to have as well, because I kind of have to do this fast or the tweezers will heat up. So 1 second, just need to get this on. All right, let's double check, make sure that works. Probably a little of both, I imagine. I'm honestly not expecting this one to work because the diode literally sat on the soldering iron. But it works. There it is. So, very easy. I don't know how actually difficult it is to burn a diode. I haven't tried. That's not something I'm really keen on learning how to do either. It's tedious. It's honestly probably better with two people. Man, I put a lot of crap on this map. Oh well, I'll be getting a lot more eventually. But once again, super easy. If you can solder a switch, you can solder this. It just takes a little bit more time, and it's just a little tedious. I don't have ceramic tweezers on hand, but I would really, really recommend getting ceramic tweezers for something like that. If something like that happens, I'd be happy to walk you through it. All I can say is don't panic, and if you have an old PCB, don't throw it out. There are critical things you can use from this, down to even taking the USB-C out and reusing that. I like this because I have a nice hot swap board that I use. I can just pop these out and replace them if anything gets broken. Diodes are great to have, and guess what? It's all just soldered on there, so it's not like you have tiny pieces moving around. You just go in, solder it, apply some heat, pop it off, move it to the other one. It's a great little extra tool. I've got some stabs sitting on here ready to go just in case, so it's good to have extra parts lying around, especially if you're someone who streams builds. So I'm going to do a very quick tidy up as we get this board put back together, put some caps on it, and call it a day on this stream. So, Cool Deathmat, thank you very much. Awesome friend Jinly Queen, Jinly Bean, designed this, so very happy about it. It will be coming soon. This is the first. We're making a revision to it to make sure it is as perfect as we can get it. So, top mount board. You only need the top piece first. This board is a little goofy to put together. I forgot to check for LEDs. Hold on. I'll do that later, because I can always go back and do this. It is not an important part to the functioning of this build. Center USB. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of center USB. I like my cable to kind of run all the way across. But I know a lot of people like that, which is goofy because I'm all about symmetry, right? I like symmetry, but on a 60, I like that it runs across the top. You can kind of see the whole cable as opposed to it just going straight. So that's a preference thing, though. A center USB doesn't ruin it for me, but it is. I know a lot of people really like the center USB, and it does. It looks clean and symmetrical from like the back point of view. So, like I said, the Austin is a fantastic board. I give Drifting Bunnies and I like to kind of take shots at each other. We are good friends in real life. But we both bought each other's boards. We both sold each other's boards, so we just like to rag on each other. The Austin is a fantastic board. I was very happy to build this one. As long as I can get this screw out, mother. All right, let's come on. And then we've got Analog Dreams going on this. So I showed off Analog Dreams on stream, but it'll be on stream this past Tuesday. My wife got it for her bower, but I get to show it off on this stream. And the reason I love, we talk about this a lot between Osiris and I. We both love streaming on Saturdays. My biggest happiness to it is I get to stream with natural light. So I don't have any I don't have any stream lights. The sun compared to the room is behind me, which is why this window is so bright. The sun's back there reflecting off of a building going in, so it's a nice natural light. Today, yep, that is the build. We are wrapping up. Ran into two small issues, one with a bad switch and one with the absence of a diode, which I have not run into that problem in a while. So we got this in. Didn't really show the inside of the case. We got 6 screws for the weight. There's not really a reason. These marks are just kind of rub away. It's just from them clasped together. Nothing crazy about that. The Drift Mechanics logo, which I love the Drift Mechanics logo. So there is that. Let's get our next bit on here. And then we will throw caps on, do a typing sounds. That's the wrong bit. And be on our way. What is everyone up to this evening? Who's someone streaming tonight? Who's streaming right now? Who should we raid here in about 20 minutes? What is everyone up to tonight? We're having cacio e pepe, which is basically a fancy way of saying Parmesan noodles with black pepper. DD Decline, well, we'll probably raid him. He's a really good friend. Dad is going to start shortly. Mech Merlin is live. Epsilon Keyboards too. Heck yeah. I'm doing my first stream in a couple of hours. Excited. Switch Doctor AU. Hell yeah, dude. You know, go to our Discord. Make sure you post it in the promotion channel, because I check that almost anytime someone types anything. I love watching new people stream, so make sure you do that, dude. Hell yeah. Very nice. And I know, see, Keeb Noob and I talk frequently about who's the newest streamer. We love watching the newest people stream. So there it is, built. Very, very clean. I love, this is something that was, I don't know if this was done on purpose, but you can kind of, Austin, you can kind of see it right there. I love that. So, let's get some caps on this thing. Work the kinks out. Yeah, man. So, Analog Dreams, honestly, growing on me to be one of the sets of the year, in my opinion. No, let's do a standard spacebar to not force our preferences on other people. We're going to do a pink enter. And I'm going to have to like think about a lot of this. I have not built a full-size board in a hot minute. I don't know which one that's going to be. We're going to do yellow escape. Don't need that. So, I'm going to cheat because I don't remember the top of this at all from when I had this board. Because like my top row was like up here was all artisans, so I just never I never worried about like what was what because I did media keys up there. If you're ever wondering, if you're ever sitting there with like pause, break, home, end, and delete, and you don't use home, end, and delete, and pause, and all that stuff, I highly recommend trying some media keys up there. I use that even on my 75%. My 75% I use media keys because it just to me makes sense. I'm like, I'm going to use that way more often than I'm going to use home and end. I miss extra key. 1800 is most likely going to be my next layout board. Hell yeah. See, I'm missing it. I'm missing it a lot. F12, so we keep grabbing. I don't know if we need that one or not. This set is great. My big gripe about this set is not even big. It's just a gripe. I don't like the numpads that have the sub legends with the arrows and all that. I think I like a cleaner numpad. That is, again, a preference. I think the off-whites of these match really well. And another one of my favorite things about full-size boards, or at least boards with F-rows, is you get to appreciate how the F5 through 8 really kind of like completes the aesthetic. And I think that's fantastic. Yo, hello. Sorry I'm late. How's it going? Jedi Junior, I'm doing all right. We're wrapping up this build. This is an Austin. That is not the key that I am using today because this is not my board. Wish it was, but you know. It happens. We are going to absolutely use the mod colored pipe key. That is the wrong caps lock. Alpha ad. Jealousy for the Austin. Yeah, I'm jealous of it too, man. I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll either give it back to you today, Saturday, like after stream, or Sunday. And then like halfway through this, I'm like, I'm giving it to you Sunday. I'm using this thing for the rest of the day. I want the pics. I want everything. I want to use this for the day and enjoy it. That's the best part about build streams, honestly, is like getting the opportunity. One, I get to build a lot of cool boards, but I get to use a lot of cool boards, even if it's just for a day. What's plate material, by the way? Brass. It is, in fact, brass. Man, I just cannot put numbers on the correct row. There's the 2. I'm going to make coffee in a bit. Hell yeah, dude. Love me some coffee. Chilling and folding clothes. The realist. So, as we get closer and closer, yeah, these off-whites look amazing. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how good these whites look together, because sometimes white can like they can clash a little too much, but it's not. Neither of these are like super like cool white. They're both kind of on the warmer side, and I think that matches really, really well. There's age limits to coffee. Man, I didn't know that. Are you old enough for coffee? My parents, when I was younger, I was like, I want coffee, and they were like, you don't need coffee. And I just begged and annoyed the crap out of them, and they were like, fine, you want coffee? And my mom poured me a cup of old just straight coffee that's been sitting out for like the day. And I drank it and immediately spit it up, and I did not drink coffee for a long time. And I was like, that was some serious freaking parenting. Yeah, I mean, caffeine's not the smartest for like a young child, but like, it's not. My parents always told me coffee stunted my growth. It's like, if you want to be tall, don't drink coffee or caffeine. We were allowed one soda on Fridays. And oftentimes my parents would go to the store and they go, what soda do you want? And I was the younger brother. So my brother would go, Dr. Pepper. And even back then I didn't like Dr. Pepper. And I still don't like Dr. Pepper. And my parents would go, oh, okay, Dr. Pepper it is. And then I would just not get, for like 3 months, I just wouldn't get my soda per week because of that. And I always wanted like Sun-Kissed, which was way harder to convince my parents to get like Sun-Kissed. That's good soda. And HFCS in general is trash, to be honest. High fructose corn syrup, I'm going to assume, is what that stands for. Yeah. We don't drink a lot of sodas. I drink like Coke Zero is the big one that I do drink. But I like tea a lot. I drink a lot of tea, and I also really enjoy coffee. So, there's the F5. I am missing my F8. Where is it? Is that the one key that like didn't come out of the bag? Not seeing an F8. I'm sure it is around here somewhere. There it is, just upside down. And then caps lock. I need a standard sized caps lock. There we go. Got all that. All about that black tea. Get me some Osmanthus tea for the holidays. Osmanthus is fantastic. If you haven't tried it, it's a nice apricot stone fruit notes. I will try it. I think growth really depends on genetics and hormones. I never drank soda growing up, and I grew super fast. I was 5'2" by age 10. Then my hormones kicked in. I stopped growing. All my family is 6 feet, so everyone assumed I would be as tall. So I was robbed, absolutely. It's all family. My brother is 6'5", and my dad is 5'7", and I am 5'11". My mom is 5'8", so my mom's very tall. My mom's the shortest in her family. We got all of our height from my mom's side of the family. But yeah, my brother just towers over. Man, there's I have a picture. I won't show it just because it's not really fair to them for me to show off a picture of them. But they and we're getting real close. I just need to check which combination it is of these. But it's My brother and me standing next to my dad is a sight to see. Alright. We're doing scoops, not bars. He can fix it later. Hello all, Sir Captain Salty. Hello, hello. Believe that's gonna be I may have grabbed the wrong page up. I think I did, but I will fix that before delivery. But that's fine. It's nothing insane. Do we do pink enters or do we? I think we do pink enter. Yeah, I think we do pink enters and yellow other accents. We've got our 2U0 key here for maximum 0. As we grab the rest of our keys and wrap this build up with a typing sounds. There, and come on. Something's wrong with that stab. Awesome. Right at the end. There we go. Cap was on Goofy. That'll happen. That 2U0, absolutely. I guess I should probably find that other page up. If I can quickly look for it as you guys admire the board. We'll find him another time. He's got the cap. What is scoop or bar? Scoops versus bars. So, you know what? We're dumping that. Where? Give me my 5 key. Where did it go? Let's show off scoops and bars. Give me a... There it is. A J. All right, so... Let's move it in. So, you have your homing keys, which are FJ and the number 5. If you can kind of tell, I'll see if I can tilt this up. You can see that the J and the F keys are really scooped down. It's so when you're putting your hand on your keyboard, it kind of sits where this J key doesn't scoop down that hard, but it has a little bar. So you can kind of feel for it. So it's a preference. I like the scoops. As I don't like, I think the bars aesthetically are not that pleasing. I turn my camera. There we go. So here we go. This is beautiful. I love this build. This looks like a nice, great build. Super duper. Love this. I think it looks beautiful in the sunlight. I mean, this thing just pops. Definitely cute as fuck. Let's put his cap on here. So, Hellbent, if you're in chat, you can throw your Instagram up. He made this cap. Not for this set, but this is great. Flexing in the natural light, yeah, absolutely. It is that time of day, that off light. That cap is going up for sale. This is a board that I happily built for my good friend Hellbent. And it's a beaut. So, actually, I'm going to unplug that because you guys don't need to know how bad I am at typing. So, this is an Austin V2 on a brass plate with T1s. lubed with 3203 with a GMK keycap set. I am typing on a countertop desk that is connected to 2 shelves with 1 desk mat through a dynamic microphone. I'm going to mute the audio here. This is going to be a quick typing test. Like I said, it's going to sound different in person than it is through your speakers, but we love doing typing tests anyway. So here we go. We back. This thing, it's Butte. It's going to live on my desk for the next, 18 hours. Yeah, it sounds really, really good. Yeah, I'm excited. So the last board I built for him it sounded all right, but I think this one sounds a lot better, in my opinion. So it is going to get the mark of a giant wrist rest. So what type of cable is that? This is from Zap Cables, so you can check out Zap Cables. Does your nano slider work? Having trouble with mine? No. It just looks pretty. Sorry, I was asking, when doing a typing test, do you actually type any words or just random letters? I have a little tiny script that's just dumb that I just kind of type every time I do a typing test. What type of cable? Sorry, Zap Cables. This is a custom cable from Zap. He will run custom cables from time to time, but you can also get them and build them. So they're great. You type weird. Ever thought about changing the habits? No, because I type in a way that gets words and letters that I want put on the screen to appear on the screen. So, yes. When doing... Okay. Oh, oops, wrong chat, my bad, no big deal. So, but other than that, that's the build. So thank you guys. Remember, this Tuesday, we're going to have Andy Wen on. This Tuesday is going to be the Super 8, the Elite 8 round of our Keyboard of the Week, so be sure to come and check that out. Wednesday, we're going to have Andy Wynn on, as we had a scheduling conflict last week with Mr. Norbauer, so come check that out. And then next week, we will have an announcement for that build tomorrow. So, but thank you guys for everyone coming. We're going to... I need to, open Twitch, because I think we're going to raid Dee. Babyface Dee, and that's what we're gonna say in our raid as well. So I really want to appreciate everyone. I really appreciate everyone coming out. Thank you for hanging out with me during the stream. So let's get starting the raid with Dee. So thank you for all our new followers. Thank you for all our subs. Thank you specifically to URYFTW or Yuri for the win. Thank you for the raid earlier. Thank you guys, and let's put... So, whenever we enter his chat, we're just gonna blast Babyface into his chat. So, thank you guys. We'll see you, and bye, Switch Tester.